welcome to the Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David-Marshall. Day one of the 2007 Magic the Gathering World Championships is done. We have one player standing on top of the heap at 8-0. It is Yoshitaka Nakano. Nakano looking to be the third Japanese world champion in a row. We had Mahara last year. He's still in this thing at X2. Katsuhiro Mori the year before that, who is on 7-0-1. Picked up a draw in the last round, or he'd be tied for first place. Nakano, pretty good player, Japanese. He's known as a good player. He's had a lot of success on the Japanese Grand Prix circuit. Actually a protege of Hall of Fame inductee Tsuyoshi Fujita. So a lot of good connections there, a lot of good stories there. You got some interesting players hanging out in this tournament. It's just been a fun day to watch.
It's been a really fun tournament. It's been great watching a lot of the Hall of Famers playing today.
The Hall of Fame has done well, yeah. You've got Zvi was in good shape. He won the draft, leading this year's class, sitting at 5-3. But there's an ocean of Hall of Famers at 5-3. Rob Dougherty, Darwin Castle, Raphael Levy, Bob Maher. All these guys sitting on 5-3.
So 5-3 is like just the height. Is that the top record?
John Finkel, ladies and gentlemen. John Finkel is 6-2 and very much in this thing. There's a bunch of 6-2s, but the 6-2s run from 15th in the standings down to 50th, basically, 5th down to 55th. But Finkel's in the mix. You know, I was like, yeah, let's go over the interesting X&2s, but there's just John, right? Who's going to top that?
I mean, who else could there be? Could there be someone like Gabriel Nassif?
Right, so Nassif is on 5-2. Mike Rahn, Pro Tour winner, on 5-2. Or sorry, 6-2.
Pro Tour winner Chris Lockman is on X&2.
Dave Williams, playing the same decks as John, staying at John's place, is sitting on X2, and he's just like, he feels like he should be 8-0. It's like he lost the unlosable matchup in Constructed, made a mistake in a limited match. Tamahara Saito,
player of the year race.
6-2. He's the man to beat in the player of the year race. He's in good shape, but 6-2.
Kurihara has fallen away.
Right. Your player of the year race update. Basically, Saito is in good shape on 6-2 to defend it. Kenji is on 5-3. Chian is on 5-3. Heezy's on 5-3. Those guys have definitely got some work to do.
Waffle Tapo's on
Tapo tied with Saito at 6-2,
right.
So he's definitely got himself positioned. And interesting race. I looked toward the top of the standings, so you got a couple of really interesting characters sitting on the 7-1 side of things. Sam Stein's a player who's been doing pretty well lately. Sebastian Thaler is always sitting at the top of the standings at some point every event.
Gabe Walls.
And then you hit the characters. Gabe Walls and Pat Chapin. Two of the characters of the Pro Tour.
Bigger people than the room they're
Louder.
in. Yeah.
Yes. Bigger than the room they're in. I like that.
Yeah, and I don't mean that physically. I mean, because they're very different physically.
They're just loud personalities.
Yeah. Funny, gregarious. There's always a crowd around them. They like Magic. They like talking about Magic. They like playing Magic.
Absolutely. So, pretty cool stuff going on in the standings.
Kazaya Mitamura also is just someone to point out is multiple top 8s now.
Right.
And on a Pro Tour.
It's true.
And he's X-1.
So we got a bunch of interesting players doing well, but meanwhile we had two formats today. We had the standard format that we talked about earlier. Now we did 3 rounds of Lorwyn Booster Draft.
Right.
And what's the scene? What's going on in the Booster Draft?
Well, you know, we always do like deck tech pieces, and we talk about the different decks that are undefeated. Now, what I wanted to do is find out what are the decks that were winning their pods at the top table. So I was running around and looking at the tables, the first 7 draft tables.
Sure.
And so pod 1,
the players who came in 4-1 or better.
Pod 1 ended up with a draw between Katsuhiro Mori and Christoph Huber.
Yep.
And now you can follow, that draft was in the draft viewer.
Yep.
So you can go onto the website, you can see what their first picks were. Both players went into Merfolk.
Finals is Merfolk.
Merfolk. I'll take a Regery, you take a Dowser.
Done.
Let's split up the table. We'll have all the blue cards. And then Mori gets past a Guile.
Wow.
So blue definitely seemed to be.
Is that the best color?
It definitely seems to be the strongest color in draft.
Okay.
You go to pod 2, and Nakano
wins.
Nakano wins this. He's playing blue-black fairies, which a lot of players have said is the best deck. He's got open Liliana Vess, picked a Weed Strangle out of a second pack, picked a Pestromite. That means the 2 Muldrifters in his deck were passed to him somehow. It means the 2 Dream Spoiler Witches and the double Pepper Smokes and the other Pestromites were all passed to him.
Nice.
He sat there. He collected a really, really solid blue-black fairy deck. You still see that underdrafted sometimes online. Great deck, and he swept through his table.
Speaking of having cards passed you, by the way, Mori sitting on pod 1 got a 3rd pick Garrick Wildspeaker.
Yes, he did.
How does that happen?
I'm definitely gonna look at that one in the draft viewer because I really want to see that.
Certainly, the word around R&D is that there's no such thing as an off-color planeswalker.
Right.
It doesn't exist. And I looked at the draft viewer. He got it in pack 2. Like, I'm not convinced there's an off-color Planeswalker in pack 3.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pod 3, I really wish we had a draft viewer there.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure I believe Sebastian Thaler. Sebastian Thaler, we saw him top 8 of Pro Tour Yokohama.
Yeah.
Excellent player,
yeah.
Rookie of the Year last year. He 3-0'd his pod. He's in excellent shape going into the second day of competition. Blue-white Flyers. First picked some flyer. Didn't matter. He's got like 4 Sentinels of Glen Elendra.
Okay.
He's got 3 Pestermites. He's got multiple other flash. He's got, I think, Spell Stutter Sprite. His first picks in pack 2 and pack 3 are off-color Lignifies.
Lignify, that's the 04.
It is the 04 Treefolk enchantment.
That's
loses all of
pick?
He first picked them. He said he has 13 or 14 flyers, I think. He has 8 flash flyers. He's got 3 counter spells that he can sit back on.
Okay.
And he's like, look, if you have as many flyers as I have, Lignify is better than Oblivion Ring.
Better than Oblivion Ring.
I mean, I think I'd take the Oblivion Ring. It's in my
I don't know
colors.
if I'd buy that, but it's a good copy. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And he seemed to have no trouble with his deck. The Lignifies were great.
Okay.
Again, it puts a flyer on the ground.
Sure.
They lose their abilities.
So again, a blue deck, blue-white flyers.
Again, a blue deck, yes.
What else? Pod 4?
So Pod 4 is Armin Burner. Now, Armin isn't the first non-blue player we see sweep. He's 5-color green, although he first picked a Muldrifter. I first picked a Muldrifter. He was past a Thundercloud Shaman, which is also something. I was talking to a couple players, and they said, Thundercloud Shaman just might be a better uncommon than Shriekmaw because you never get past Shriekmaw. So, you just see it a little more often. You can build around it. You know how it goes. He was past Thundercloud Shaman, late Fertile Grounds, and then he went into green, 5-color green. 5 is Uri Peleg, red-black.
Okay.
This is just like goblins. Tons of removal, triple Eye Blights ending, double Mud Button, double Harasser, can sack those guys to Face Vaulter.
Okay.
Really nice control deck. He took out Mike Ron, actually, in the finals of that table, or that pod. Gabe Walls.
Sure.
Classic Merfolk deck. I mean, this guy's never met a blue card he didn't like. Double Regery, double Sniper, double Aquatex. He's got a Judge, he's got a Dowser, he's got counter spells, he's got flyers. It's by the books, blue-white Merfolk.
Okay.
Great deck. Chapin, Pod 7.
Yep.
First pick's Lash Out, not a blue card.
Okay.
First pick's Briarhorn. Third pack, he's like, I didn't even get a first pick out of that pack. I took like a lowland oaf or something, a skill giant, Right. But he was past Thundercloud Shaman.
Oh, wow.
And he was the person who said this card's great. So it was very interesting. Blue is definitely great.
Okay.
But there's other ways you can go.
Sure. So that's what a few of the top decks look like. If you're drafting on Magic Online, if you're heading out to the store, looks like you want to be in blue, you can go blue-white Merfolk, you can go blue-black Fairies. And that's the lessons here from day 1 of the World Championships. Brian and I will be back tomorrow. We'll be covering day 2. 8 more rounds will boil us down to the top 8. Then Saturday's team day. Sunday is the webcast where we hand out all the hardware. Stay tuned to the Tournament Center for more coverage of the 2007 World Championships.